In this video, I'll be showing you guys how to use the limit comparison test to determine whether a series converges or diverges. Now, the limit comparison test is a lot easier than direct comparison test, in some ways more than others, but most of the time, if you see some polynomial numerator, denominator inside of your series, you can use the limit comparison test like so, especially when it's very hard to determine the condition where a of n is less than b of n. All right, this condition right here is for the direct comparison test, and for functions like this where a of n is something super complicated, limit comparison test is a lot more helpful. So this right here is a of n. All right, this is your original series. So our goal here is to find b of n. All right, well, how do you find b of n? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this right here. And all we need to do in order to find b of n is take a look at a of n, remove all the lower order exponentials. So right here, 5 times n to the power of 1 here technically. Remove it. Only keep the largest exponential values in the numerator and denominator. So we have 3n to the power of 4 here. So we ignored everything else in the denominator except for the largest exponential values. Well, we can actually simplify this to get 1 over 3n squared, correct? And we can actually simplify this even more to find b of n. Simply ignore every coefficient. So we get 1 over n squared. Now, if there was a coefficient for n squared here, like 2n, then the function would simplify like so, correct? Well, you would ignore the 2 as well. You would just set it equal to 1 in the coefficient. So just simplify it so where the numerator is 1 and the denominator is n to the power of something. That's your goal for finding your secondary or compared function or compared sequence. Well, now that you have this, you can use the limit comparison test. So the limit comparison test states that as limit as n approaches infinity for a of n over b of n, you can get some number here. And we call this number c. Now, c has very annoying conditions, but it's actually quite more straightforward than you think it'd be. So if c is between, sorry, not equal, less than, greater than or equal to 0, but if c is between 0 and infinity, basically your b of n and a of n converge and diverge together. B of n and a of n con and dive together. All right. So if your b of n diverges, a of n diverges. A of n diverges. And if a of n diverges, then b of n diverges. And if b of n converges, then a of n converges. Right? Basically, if either of them converge, then the other one converges. If either of them diverge, then the other one diverges. Now, here's the annoying part about these conditions. If c is equal to 0, you got something a little different. Basically, when c, or the answer of this limit, is equal to 0, then only if b of n converges, then a of n also converges. Now, if c was equal to 0 and b of n diverges, then you get nothing, right? But what if c is equal to infinity, right? What if c approaches infinity? Okay, now this is where you get a little different. If b of n diverges, then a of n must also diverge. But most of the time, you really don't need to worry about these conditions. Like, you're going to be using this one way more. You're going to get, most of the time, you're going to get a constant from 0 to infinity. So don't worry too much about these. Maybe keep them in the back of your mind in case it's on exam. But this one is the one that at least my class used literally every single problem. So in this case, let's go ahead and solve our limit now for this problem specifically. We'll leave the conditions at the top. So a of n over b of n. Let's go ahead and rewrite this limit in terms of our problem. So as n approaches infinity for n squared plus 5n plus 7 over 3n to the 4th plus 2n plus 1 over 1 over n squared. Right? This right here is b of n. So we have a of n over b of n. All right. Well, if we evaluate this limit, right, we simplify the fraction here. You basically just multiply n squared onto the numerator. So you get n to the power of 4 plus 5n to the power of 3 plus 7n to the power of 2 over 3n fourth plus 2n plus 1. Okay, let's go ahead and make some space real quick. And then all you need to do is evaluate this limit. Well, essentially, we have a limit to infinity. So we only care about the largest terms. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Largest exponential values. So let's go ahead and only care about the largest exponents in the numerator and denominator. Because those are the ones that actually affect the function the most compared to n to the power 3. N to the power 4 up to infinity just grows way faster than n to the power 3. So n to the fourth over 3n to the fourth. So we only care about the large exponents in the numerator and denominator. We can actually cancel out n to the fourth here, so that you just get a simple constant, 1 over 3. And since we meet the condition where c is some number, some positive number between 0 and infinity, we can determine that if b of n converges, then a of n also converges. And if b of n diverges, a of n also diverges. All right, this is a little different than the conditions for the direct comparison test. I will have actually a video on their differences, because it's important to note their differences between their conditions. You might get something wrong or something like that, like the interpretation. You might get the interpretation wrong, and that's going to affect you in some way, maybe in the future. So I thought it was important to know the difference of them. That's why I'm going to make a video. But going back to the problem, you found 1/3, right? That is a constant, and you need to circle this, right? You need to let make it easy for your grader to know that you found some constant at the end of your for your c value at the end of your limit. All right, well, now that you know that, we have to determine whether b of n converges or diverges. Let's go ahead and use the p-series test. So for b of n, p is equal to 2, right? And since p is greater than 1, the series converges. So since b of n converges, due to the p-series test, given the p-series test, that means a of n also converges. So you might be wondering, what in the world is the point of doing all this when we can just determine whether or not b of n converges, just like the direct comparison test does, if you have learned that, of course. Well, you need to prove that you can apply this condition first. You need to show that your answer for your limit as a of n over b of n approaches infinity, you need to show that it gives you some number between 0 and infinity before you determine this. So you could have just used p-series, I guess, right? Just off the beginning. But if you use the limit comparison test without finding the constant, the c value of your limit to infinity, then, well, you're going to lose some points off of that. So keep that in mind. You need to prove that c is between 0 and infinity. Let's go ahead and determine if this series converges or diverges. First thing we want to do, we want to find b of n. Okay, so this right here is a of n. So we want to find b of n. Well, how do you find b of n? Remember, we only care about the largest exponents. So first off, let's go ahead and square root n to the fourth over n to the third. And the reason why this becomes n to the fourth is because we don't care about this plus 1, right? Plus 1 up into infinity, plus 1 really does nothing. So we just ignore plus 1. N to the fourth is the only thing that we are worrying about. Well, this actually simplifies into n squared over n to the power of 3, right? And this simplifies even further into 1 over n. So we want to use 1 over n as our b over n, b of n series. Okay, now that we have this, what can we do? Well, we need to do the limit, right? This is called the limit comparison test because there's a limit. So a over n over b over n. So let's rewrite everything. N to the power of 4 plus 1 over n to the power of 3 plus 7 over 1 over n. Well, what we actually get, oh, maybe I should write the limit symbol. Yikes. Ooh. That's technical, but you need to put the limit symbol. So as the limit as n approaches infinity, so n multiplies into the numerator n to the power of 4 plus 1 over n to the power of 3 plus 7. Alright, well, now as you're approaching infinity, all you really care about, again, is the greatest exponent values. So you have n square root of n to the power of 4 over n to the power of 3 again. So these are the greatest exponent values inside of this this function, a over n over b over n. Well, this simplifies even further. The limit as n approaches infinity for n over 3 over n over 3, which simply equals 1 since these both cancel out. Alright, now that we prove the condition that c is some number between infinity and 0, then now, let's put c is between infinity and 0 for this. Now, we can use your little p-series test for your b of n. So p is equal to 1 here, and since p is less than or equal to 1, the series diverges. And remember the condition for this: if c is between 0 and infinity, then if b of n diverges, then a of n diverges, right? So since c is between 0 and infinity, b of n diverges, a of n also diverges. And if b of n converges, a of n also converges. But in this case, b of n diverges. Therefore, a of n also diverges. So our original series diverges. Guys, I have bad news. I'm fucking pissed. Someone stole my $15 billion, 15 billion shekel fruit in Grow a Garden. I spent like a week getting all the mutations I could on it, and someone fucking stole it. What the fuck? Okay, I don't really care that much. I just quit the game, I'm not gonna lie, and I'll play Rainbow Six Siege again. But, yeah, that's a little story I had to tell. I had to get that off my chest inside of this video. Okay, let's start this problem, right? So, a of n, the original series, is this guy right here. So our goal, again, is to find b of n. In order to find b of n, we just care about the largest exponents. So we have n over 5, n to the power 5, sorry, over 4n to the power 5. Okay, well, these just cancel out. You just get 1/4. So what do you do with 1/4? You can simply write down 1/4 here. Right? It's just 1/4. Now, here's the thing about this. You can kind of already tell where this is going, right? If b of n is 1/4, then, well, series diverges, right? 1/4 is some constant number, but I'll still do the limit comparison. So if you see something where there's a constant, you can just set the constant to equal to b of n. So if you determine b of n is some constant, just set it equal to it, right? And we can solve for the limit. So of n to the power 5 plus 2n to the power 3 minus 7 over 5, 4n to the power of 5 plus 9 over 1 over 4. Okay, so if you multiply 4 into the numerator, you get 4n to the power 5 plus 8n to the power 3 minus 7 over 4n to the power 5 plus 9. Now the thing about this problem is that technically, remember how I said that you would have to remove the coefficients for b of n? Well, I could have written it like this, where n to the power of 0 is at the denominator. But that, really doesn't matter. I just kept 1/4 in there. Doesn't matter what you do. You could have just set this equal to 1, actually. Right? You could have set b of n equal to 1. But basically what happens here is, as the limit n approaches infinity, you get 4n to the power 5 over 4n to the power 5. And this just simplifies into 1. I should put the limit symbol here. Let's put limit as n approaches infinity. Alright, once you get this, you just have 1. Well, 1 is between 0 and infinity. Alright, so we meet this condition. Therefore, if b of n diverges, then a of n diverges. So technically, b of n is 1 over 4n to the power of 0. Therefore, if we use p series, p is just equal to 0. Okay, and since p is less than or equal to 1, this series just simply diverges. So if you have some constant, I guess you can already determine that, but you still need to write the limit for if you're using the limit comparison test. So since p is equal to 0 in this case for b of n, then this series, then b of n also diverges, and given this condition for the with the limit comparison test, then a of n also diverges. All right, if b of n diverges, then a of n also diverges, if and only if c is between 0 and infinity. But that's really all for the video. I mean, like, limit comparison test, if you know direct comparison test, it's really not that bad. It's just, honestly, it's more memorizing steps than anything. But the more practice you do, of course, the better you'll get at it. So, as always, if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. And if you found this video helpful, consider subscribing and liking the video. Thanks for watching.